Yes, I'm going to talk about interpreting the access power and consumption of glass beads in Kilwa Kisiwani, southern Tanzania. Do you also see this, the upper thing as what I can see? Sorry, like it's hiding the upper part of the screen. Can you also see it?
No, we can see the full presentation. For me, it's fine.
Okay. Okay, sorry, now I'll continue. Most archaeologists make a very minimal utilization of glass beads that are encountered in archaeological sites. And this has limited the use of glass beads only to chronological markers and indicators of trade relation. And so therefore the potential of beads to unravel sociocultural behavior of past communities is not fully tapped. Consequently, the meaning of beads to their past users remain less unknown. So currently, in connection with ethnographic studies, we are now being enlightened on significant issues previously encountered, example, wealth, classes, belief system, ritual activities, and ethnic, among others. So my research is based in Kilwa Kisiwani, the site which is World Heritage Site. It was nominated since 1981. The site has been inhabited since Middle Stone Age, and several evidences, including early ironworking, have been found in places like Guruni. However, the site has become vibrant from early second millennium AD, and it has been as a commercial hub between East Africa and outside world. This is proven by the monuments, which some of them are still existing. The monument buildings justify the wealth that was in Kilwa Kisiwani, shortly KK. But this site, it started to decline from 15th century with the arrival of the Portuguese. In my research, I used three methodology, whereby I used literature review. I visited several archaeological books, several literatures, which have wrote about Kilwa and the findings, including beads. But I also did excavation, and my excavation was entirely near the wells. And it was near the wells specifically because we believe wells, in ancient wells, which of course are still used until today. And it was near the wells because we believe wells are the places where most activities are done, including washing, making stories, women meet there. Several ritual activities are conducted in wells. So it's a place where there is most interaction. But I also did ethnography, whereby I met the current community of Kilwa Kisiwani, and I was interviewing them about the use of beads, if they're still using it, and how are they using it, and things like that. So in the research, I was guided by the prestige good theory that was pioneered by Friedman and Brodland, 1977. And in this theory, they insisted that exotic goods such as glass beads, porcelain, and others provided wealth and prestige among the community. And this is because of the factors such as cost of production, but also cost of transportation from outside world to Africa, but also the fragility, sorry, to preserve them to preserve them to reach the destiny without any distraction. So factors like that have made this exotic, they considered that these exotic goods were only accessed by the people with wealth or people who live in the elite people, I can say. But also Smith, 1999, he identified that the scarcity of material at the site, as well as the context of deposition, may determine the exotic good or prestige good. That the fewer the materials that you find at the archaeological site, that means those materials were not much accessible to people. So they identified them as prestige good. However, we can see that this theory is economically biased. It ignores the cultural logic of people or the community. It didn't consider how people consume things following their cultural logic. I mean, cultural meaning. So prestige good theory guided in this study guided in this, in studying prestige good theory, guided in studying the beads access and consumption, as well as cultural logic behind the consumption of different types of goods at Kilwa Kisiwani. So what were the results? Of course, the results were very interesting. From the ethnography, people said that beads has been used and it has been continuously used till today. Beads, they use them as medicine. In what sense? Is that they take beads, these glass beads as we know them, with combination of traditional organic herbs, they called it locally known as ngeleta, and they used to cure children suffering from mucus diarrhea, locally called konde. It's mostly it's attacking children between 1 to 5 years. So they take yellow or green beads and they cure the disease. How is that they boil the beads together with the herb that is ngeleta or mpombwe, and then the child, they make that child drink the water which it has been boiled, and the child wears those beads, and eventually the child gets cured. As you can see at the left-hand side, these are the archaeological beads which I found. Yep, but also they say beads cure. In Kiswahili, we call it degedege. In English, is epilepsy. So they take chains of white or yellow beads and they use it to cure the disease. But also they say white glass beads they use to cure asthma. I believe most of us knows asthma. So they use white beads to cure asthma. White beads, depending on the size of the hand of the patient, and wears them as bracelets. They use white to signify cleanness. But also they say they use red, white, or black glass beads as curative objects for keeping the devils away or calm from disturbing those who possesses them. As you can see, this previous picture, this lady wears a white glass bead, chain of glass beads, together with a red piece of cloth to calm the devil that is attacking her. So you can find maybe the devil, oceanic devil, I can say, or forest devil likes black color. So the patient wears a piece of, a white chain with black piece of cloth to calm that devil. Or she might wear a white chain, glass bead chain with red piece of cloth like this to calm maybe the oceanic devil. So they use it as curative object. But also, as I can say, they use white. As I said, they use white, red, as you can see in this picture, and black, just to act. These colors, they differ according to the type of the devil. The devil might like white, or might like black, or might like red. So, and this knowledge is given by the spiritual people, that they talk to the devil and the devil said, I like this color, and then the patient wears it. And this piece of wood is the ngeleta. I said previously, they combine glass beads with a piece of wood as curative object. Another use of bead that Kilwa people said they use is that they use beads as teaching or educative aid. They say they use black, red, or white, black, or red glass beads as teaching aid. At the right side are the archaeological beads that I found, and then at the right side is the interpretation. And this white glass bead, it signifies the white discharge that us women, they usually come out in our genital parts. So they use white to represent those things, and they use black glass beads to represent the hair that they tend to grow in our private parts. But they also use red glass beads to represent the menstrual period that we go through it every month. So this beads are representative, and they tell the young children, the young girls, that now you are grown up and you have to be clean. And when you see this, you have to do this. When you see this, you have to do this. So they use beads as teaching or educative aid. But they also say that they use beads to body shape making objects to both women and men. Another use of beads that they said is that they use beads as protective objects. For example, white glass beads are worn by the no-voice pregnant women so that members of the community can easily identify and help her in case they need of rise. In a sense that a female or a woman who is pregnant for her first time, she has to wear white glass beads as a representative to the community. In case she does or she breaks any taboo, then it will be easy for anyone to identify her that it's her first pregnancy, and then we should guide her. So white glass beads are worn by those no-voice pregnant women. They also wear these beads as protective power against the witch or bad eye who can harm the development of pregnancy. Such beads are usually worn on the neck until when a woman delivers.
Neema,
yes?
Neema, sorry, 1 minute left, please.
Okay. It was another use is triggering the sexual gratification that a woman wears around her neck to please her husband. So what we can see, what we learn is that through archaeological beads and ethnography results, we learn that beads to be a necessity to Africans rather than prestige goods. Due to this, sociocultural uses' ability to be transformed and serve sociocultural roles, value, and power. And therefore, archaeologists should not treat objects such as beads as isolated goods. The overall lesson is that although imported goods were taken to be finished goods, in Africa were partially manufactured goods. And so we see even locals had access and consumption of those imported goods, and the study confirmed that. However, beads characteristics inform issues like the size. Okay, another conclusion that you can say is that locals had their voices heard within a large international trade network, but also locals were not just passive recipients of trinkets just because those items came to their places. Thank you. Asante sana.